have these strings of 16th notes that sometimes go on for a while, and students often don't know what to do with them beyond getting them to sound even. But there are ways to organize these 16th notes into groups and to phrases so that they can sound more like part of the music and not at all mechanical. That is what I'm working on today, using Mozart's K310, the A minor sonata, as an example. I will talk about different types of 16th notes and how you might want to vary your touch and your sound so that they can sound more interesting. I'm hoping that you will take this concept and apply to your own Mozart playing so that you can sound more like an artist and less like a student. If you have any questions, as always, please let me know in the comments below and let me get to practicing. Mozart may sound simple, but it definitely takes a lot of time to make it sound also beautiful. It is very obvious how much thought and time a pianist has invested into playing a Mozart sonata. It is a dead giveaway, especially when the 16th notes sound purely mechanical and when they're played completely independently, as if detached from the music. In order to play these running 16th notes more beautifully, we have to think of them as part of music and not as some kind of fillers. These running 16th notes move the music from harmony to harmony, and they can also be more melodic, complementing a more important line in another voice. Let's stop right here and talk about these 4 bars from measure 23 to 27. Just at a glance, it is easy to recognize the bar by bar pattern. The left hand has a pattern and the right hand has its own pattern. But the 4 bars make up a commonly used harmonic progression: 1-6, 2, 5-7, and 1. So subtle nuances in how you shape these 4 bars should affect how you play your 16th notes as well. It would be up to you to decide how you want to play this harmonic progression, but at the least, I would avoid accenting the downbeat at measure 26, since harmonically speaking, it's a mini cadence. I would actually hide that downbeat. Let's take a look at the next bit. Here, the left hand is more horizontal than the previous section we just talked about, so I would complement that with more legato playing in the 16th notes. And this is what not to do. Accenting every beat in the right hand would go against the horizontal lines of the left hand. Not to mention very dissonant. Instead, listen for this. And another way to make these 16th notes more interesting is by varying your touch. Again, don't accent every single beat. Rather, I would group them like this. The most common reason that the running 16th notes sound unmusical or mechanical is because they were practiced to be even. Instead, try to follow the natural inflections of the pitches. In general, it sounds natural to do a decrescendo as you come down and crescendo as you go up. Here, again, group your 16th notes with the main idea, which is in the right hand. How you play this dotted rhythm should affect how you group your 16th notes. Here is a familiar circle of fifth progression. And I think of the last beat in each bar as a driving force to the next chord. Here again, think about the shape you want to create with your left hand. The repetitiveness of the 16th notes here in the right hand can very easily overpower the main, more important line. Just because you see forte on the page, it does not mean that every single note of the right hand needs to be played in forte. Aim to create shapes like you're doing with your left hand's line. As in the exposition, think of these running 16th notes complementing the left hand's line, and also in terms of the broader harmonic progression. In this video, I talked about how to play strings of 16th notes in Mozart more beautifully and more naturally. To summarize, number 1, think of the 16th notes within the harmonic progression. Number 2, follow the natural inflections of the ascending and descending pitches. Number 3, hide the strong beats, except when you want to show them. And be very careful not to overpower the main idea in another voice. If you take away anything from this video, it would be to know that notation was created for your eyes and not necessarily for your ears. As musicians, I believe we have to go beyond our intuition and beyond the notated patterns of the sounds to make music.